What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRip, and today we're looking at a fantastic English fan patch translation of Panzerfront. Now, not many of us probably really play that many tank games. I gotta be honest, most of us probably, if we're playing those kind of army games, we just want to be thrown straight into it. This is more of, I kind of class it as a tactical simulation, but nonetheless absolutely fantastic, and now we can finally play it in English, no longer just Japanese, on the Sega Dreamcast. Now there is a CDI version that Ian Michael completed, and then also there's the GDI version. Derplayer is the person behind the actual translation. Anyway, it's an interesting title, I think you're going to love it. I had a hell of a lot of fun with it. Let's take a look. So this is it, Panzerfront, translated by Derplayer to the Sega Dreamcast. Now see, this was very much playable if you had the Japanese version, or you had a Japanese console, or a way of playing Japanese titles on your Sega Dreamcast. Now, yes, it is better that it's now been translated into English, meaning that the rest of the world will be able to play this without any sort of issues actually playing it. Like I said, there are ways to actually get it to load, but whether you'd actually understand the actual language might be a bit of a barrier. Now, at first, I literally looked at the controls and I was like, what am I pressing right now? I'm pressing A, I'm pressing X. Nothing actually seems to be happening. Then, it finally clicked. What? How'd you... Okay, so you got to use the bumper buttons for control. So if you hold them together, that then means you can move forward. That did freak me out a little bit. But hey, once I actually figured that out, then yes, we were moving. Now obviously, if you do switch it to novice mode, that does essentially mean that you can then use B and Y buttons to move backwards and forwards. But to be fair, I actually think I preferred using the triggers together as the way of moving. It actually felt a little bit more immersive. Now you do use the D-pad as well to actually aim up, down, left, right, which is cool, and then you also use the A button to actually fire. So once you've actually got used to that, it actually made a little bit of sense. Now when you have got it zoomed in, you can also press the B button, which will then exit out of that firing view. But you know, once you've got used to this, like I said, for me this was the best way to play this game. Now yeah, it does make you kind of think, what does this actually play like with twin stick controls? I actually think this could be pretty decent. Now imagine one going forward and back, one going left and right. You know, absolutely, that would make for the immersive experience. Now, the real big issue I have with this, although not really much of an issue, is like I said, the fact that the controls, they are immersive, but they're not, you know, it does take a bit of time to get used to them. Apart from that, I think it's absolutely damn fantastic. The other cool thing is the actual tank selection is pretty quite vast. I think that's pretty cool. Also the training levels, they actually do give you a huge amount of training levels to kind of pick from. You can also have a briefing upon each map start if you want to, although that really is just a bit of text which is broken down and just says, okay, you're in this situation, this is what you need to do, and kind of go from there. Now the scenery, as you can see, yeah, it's not massively amazing, but again, I actually think it really fits the time period quite well. Yeah, it's a bit beige, it's a bit green, but you got to remember, you're in a war zone. You're not in the middle of some shiny, dancy, I don't know what the hell you call it. Let's face it, it's not the Nevada Strip, is it? This is in the middle of a war zone across Europe, and yeah, it certainly reflects that. And let's face it, when you watch any films from this sort of era, then yeah, very, very similar. The other cool thing is literally as other tanks are getting destroyed, you see it happen, which I really, really love. It does give you that aspect, and it's kind of like, well, okay, well that tank's down. Christ, where the hell am I going next? And it does give you that rundown in the bottom of the screen. Now the other cool thing is the fact that it does tell you, or let you know once you're on target. It flashes red and white, which means, yeah, that's right, if you fire, you're pretty close to damn hitting them. Now, obviously, you do also need to make sure you're checking things like wind speed, things like the measurements of distance. This all plays into this simulation. Like I said, it's not an arcade tile, certainly not arcade. This is more simulation, and you can clearly tell this from the sort of options it does give you. It also shows the fact that you're reloading, bottom right. It shows you that when you're firing a missile, it shows you the reloading process as well. My god, what does this game not give you? The worst thing for me was always trying to hit the turrets. It almost felt like, as much as I fired at them, they did not blow up, although you clearly just saw bits of it flying off. Now, I don't know if that's because it was already destroyed, because let's face it, it doesn't have a red arrow looking down on it, and that red arrow does point out your enemies. So, you know, maybe this was my error at this point. The one thing I do quite like is the sound design. There's no music in the background to kind of put you off the action. This is meant to be an immersive experience, and you can kind of tell this with this game. I think it really is meant to be a simulation, and it seems odd to me that this never came out in PAL regions, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure this would have sold. I mean, this game was meant to be taking place in World War II in the European regions, so how this didn't sell or wasn't going to sell, I'm not really sure the real reasoning behind that. Yet this sold in Japan, and I'm pretty sure it sold over 10,000 units, meaning it wasn't even a failure in Japan. So I find that a little bit weird. I find it odd that this didn't sell in PAL regions. Now, yes, like I said, the real way you're going to want to play this is either GDI. If you've got a GDI MU, then that's probably the best way to play it. You can also play Ian Michael's CDI version, which I've also linked. Both versions are linked to this video, which means you can go out as soon as you've watched this video and check out Panzerfront for the Sega Dreamcast. I don't think you're going to regret it. I think you're actually going to love it. I'll be gobsmacked if you do regret it, but I know you won't. Like, comment and subscribe, and have some fun on Panzerfront for the Sega Dreamcast. Al signing out.